Hello, book lovers. Welcome to our first coffee table book cast. Today I have my friend here and my partner, Jokke. Hello.
Hello, Timo. Hello.
Welcome to the channel. Today the world sees you. So, are you
First
happy
time,
to be
thanks.
here?
Yeah, sure. It's a fun time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is the first time actually that we do this. And I hope our viewers enjoy it. We have a very special topic today. It's about, is it worth to invest in books? Or is it worth to collect books? And this will be our topic today. But before we do that, Jokke, just tell us a little bit about yourself. What can you say about your person?
It's a lot, but we can take the small one, I think. Now, Jokke is my name, living in Sweden, and I am a book collector. You can say that.
You are a book collector, yes. My name is Timo. I live in Germany. So we have a far distance relationship here, my friend.
Yeah.
For a very long time already. And we love each other. We can say that. We have the same hobby.
It works out good.
Absolutely.
It works out good.
But Jokke, you said you collect books for 15 years. Can you tell us a little bit? What do you collect?
It is a little bit longer. I think it's more to 2 decades actually, because my father and mother, my parents has collecting art and so on from the beginning actually, and I got an interesting around 2 decades ago about books, that especially in that time, old, it can be Bibles or whatever, old books in that sense. So.
Okay.
And what's interesting me was, of course, the size, the feeling to hold it, and this hand-colored, beautiful things, because I really love art in that sense. And for me, it was actually an art thing. So I started that. But later on, I jumped over to a little bit about movie books, 15 years ago.
What kind of movie books do you collect?
Very different, actually. The newest one, I started to collect all the Marvels. It was 2008 when the first Marvel in that sense come out, and I have them all. Some Star Wars and so on, directors, interesting things, and
And I
know what you will say now, but come on.
What do you think I would say? I have a secret. I have a secret to tell, actually.
Yeah.
So I know that most of your books you keep in plastic.
Yeah, this one I keep in plastic. Yes, I have.
And that fits perfectly to our topic. Is there any reason why you do that? Why you keep your books in plastic?
Yeah. I have a network as you have also, and we start this together in that sense. But it is a network, you buy and sell all the time, and it really works, I think. So that's why. Sometimes I go for 2 or 3 books, in the same, some copies. Just bananas. But
yeah, totally bananas. And we can go bananas on books.
No, but it cannot be healthy sometimes, because if you're talking about collecting, people say I have 500 and 1,000, but if it goes 2,000 or 3,000, you never know. But it is like that. Yeah.
It is like that. Well, I know you now for a couple of years, and I was not so much into collecting books a couple of years ago, and I started my career with the Rocky book actually from Taschen. I'm a big fan of Sylvester Stallone, and we talked about books, and suddenly I started to think about this, and hey, I'm a big fan. Why not going for the Sly book? It's signed, it's limited, it is a little bit pricey, but I totally love it. And since then, maybe the fever started, and we had all this communication, we had all these conversations about books, and now I'm into this, and that is also one reason why we have started this channel, actually, because of our hobby. We love it so much, and because of your input here, and now we have the Coffee Table Book Lounge.
Yeah, exactly. And we try to do our best, I think that we started just some months ago, actually, but we really start to push out, and try to have as high quality as we can. And if you look at the latest, I think 20 books or something, it's we're getting there, because it deserves, of course, because some of the books are really high, some are considering, for us anyway, to be the holy grail. So
absolutely. When did this all started, this collecting book thing? Can you tell us a little bit, what is the history in collecting, or why people started to collect books actually?
Of course, first of all, humans has collecting for as long as that we was humans in that sense. But I think they start 500-600, when we start to print the books, and that is, the old antique things, And of course, it is as a collector, that this is maybe the only copy in the world, and you have the prices of that, hundreds of thousands of euro or whatever, or dollars and so on. And it is very interesting, but you see that for me, and I know it's the same for you, but for me, it's also an art thing about it for me, and we have this perfect example, actually, 100 years ago, nearly now, 1925, The Great Gatsby,
Yes.
And they actually does the dust jacket with the eyes of a woman, and you can see it on many channels. They talk about it for a long time, only the dust jacket, because it's only a novel, in that sense.
What is the value now of this book? It's how old is this one? It's 120 years, or how?
No, 1925. So it will be in 4 years. We have 100 years ago. So it nearly.
And what is the value of this book?
I saw something, it was some sold for 50,000 euro, but it was pristine, mint condition, and the dust jacket, because that is the point here. It is actually about the dust jacket. Why? Because they think it is like a print in that sense. It's a unique, because before that they don't have that type of dust jacket in that sense. So, but we see that, so we see that. So that is very interesting, I think.
There's the mother of all photo books, I think. And that started in 1999 with Taschen, with our publisher Taschen, with the Sumo book, Helmut Newton. What about this book then?
It was, I think it was brilliant about Benedict Taschen, the owner of Taschen. And they have it, today it's a format, 50 by 70, and they call it actually Sumo. And we know that now, 20 years later, they have many different, but it is exactly the same format, Baby Sumo, we have XXL versions and XL versions of these limited books they have done. But it was really the start.
It was the start, yes.
Yeah, it was really the start, because it was the biggest book ever made in that sense. They did.
It was the most expensive. It was the most expensive book in the 20th century, I believe.
Yeah, in the modern, absolutely. Yeah. And they did 10,000 copies at that time. And we see now it was, I saw in Sotheby's, in auction house, it was around 5,000 to 6,000 British pound.
Crazy.
So it is 3-4 times the money, because I think it cost $1,500 in that time, or we don't have euro in that time, but in Europe, but it was dollars. So yeah.
So during the time, Taschen re-released a book, a couple of versions of it. I have seen now we have a new version. It's called Baby Sumo. It's the same product, a little bit smaller. It's not the Sumo size. It's a little bit on smaller, but it has this book stand as well. Can you tell us a little bit what Taschen do with this book stand, or what is the strategy behind?
Yeah, the book is so heavy, so you need a book stand, of course. So you can have it in your lap, but it is very, very heavy in that sense. So, and that is also an art piece for me anyway, because it's designed by Philip Stark. Philip Stark actually designed the first one, 99. but it was in chrome, and I have heard some rumors and see it actually by myself that it was some rust on it. It was a bad condition in that sense, so you must take care of it. Today it's a stainless steel, so it's a beautiful piece.
It's €1,000. Do you think it's worth the invest? Will it? If I would say, and I have it, I must say, but we don't talk about this now. But do you see it as a real invest for the future? I spend €1,000. Okay, I have two designers here, or I have two stars here. One star is Helmut Newton, the photographer, and one is a designer, Philipp Stark, that is worldwide known. So it's a big project. It costs €1,000, but does it have any chance to grow on money as well as we had with the first Sumo that has been released 1999?
I believe so, really, because we have seen that, and this is really interesting. The last 2 decades, the market has actually changed a little bit. We see many photographers puts out on the market, high limited editions in that sense. And we have seen even the newest catalog from Tasche now, they really have a section in that, they talk about it. We released that book 2007 or something, 15 years ago around, and it has gone value 400% and so on from the start. So it is really an art piece in that sense. And I think that only the world of coffee table books, what is that? It can be about cars, cats, dogs, photograph, whatever.
Street photography.
Absolutely.
Art, books, whatever.
Yeah. And I think that today we are so digital today. Absolutely. So I think it comes back a little bit to this analog thing, to have it, in your hand.
To have something in your hand and not just on the display.
No, exactly. And then of course it's a difference, the quality, how they do the spine and everything, and the paper quality, and everything, So it's very interesting, I think.
Yes, and I have realized also, if you look at our channel, that this Helmut Newton is pretty successful. So everybody knows about this book. But let's talk a little bit about other books. Today we have a special time because I believe the art to be a photographer can be a big thing. You can be a big star, so to say.
Sure.
There was, let's say, there was Helmut Newton, but then we had Peter Lindbergh, who died unfortunately a couple of years ago. He was the fashion photographer. I mean, he built up models, Linda Evangelista or other models would not even exist if there wasn't Peter Lindbergh. But let's talk about other photographers, famous photographers. What do you think? Is it worth to invest in books from Peter Lindbergh? Is it worth to invest in books like Russell James? I have a big Russell James collection, as you know. What about other ones? Is it worth it to go for something like that?
Yeah, I believe so. Just look at the recent, Vincent Peters that we have on the channel. Vincent Peters has 3 books out. I think it will come some more. I really hope so.
I hope as well.
But they are so strictly, the first 2 anyway, highly strictly limited, and they are totally sold out. And we already see now, we're talking only 2-3 years, it really raises. From €100 when it comes out to 400, 500, 600 euro today, and it can be even a copy that is not new. It's pre-owned in that sense. Of course, a mint if you're gonna spend those money, but that amount of money. So, but it is really. I agreed. It is something, it's changing. We see that on the market, People
Absolutely.
Are very interested in it. And we have expanded as you and I have the network from, globally today. And we see that.
We have this Russell James Backstage Sexy on our channel.
Yeah.
It was a book made by Victoria's Secret, and they had 3 volumes. I believe it started 2002, then 2003 came the Backstage Sexy book, 2005 came the volume 3.
Yeah.
Backstage Sexy really went high on value, and I even had a collector asking me for if he could buy it from me and if I would sell it to him, and I said no. He offered 600-700 euros for it, and I still refused. And I believe when it came out, it was even for free. It was given by Victoria's Secret to customers, and now we have this great value.
Correct.
So what do you think about then? If can there be a difference if we have these collector's editions? There's Helmut Newton. There is, if you talk about Taschen, there's Bettina Reims, the Book of Olga, very famous. We have Unwert. We have even David Hockney, which is an art book. So it is. We talk about collector's editions here. But what about the normal books then? Is it worth also to go for cheap books, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, but we have also seen that if we talk about photographers around Nordic, we have 100 Great Danes, in Denmark, back Johansen. It was 2015, I think, 6 years ago. And when it comes out, actually, it was you can buy it really cheap. It was actually 20 euro for that. And today we see that the prices is between, if you get one, 300-400 euro. So we are talking about 15 times the money. And
so the book is sold out, I believe.
Totally sold out. And to be honest, in the art section of photo, that is actually a book quite unique, I would say. No one has done that type of project in the Nordics. We're talking one country, and many of the girls, 100 Danes girl, they are DJs, normal person, and to achieve that, unbelievable. So it's a really classic.
It's a project where a photographer went out and looked for 100 beautiful Great Danes and pictured them and brought it out to the market, and now it is such a rare thing. And I believe there's a lot of Danish collectors who say, oh, I want to have that book, and now the prices went up like sky high.
Yeah, but we see all over in Europe, and even America wants to have that copy, so absolutely. So they are, absolutely, but that is the tricky, you never know.
So there's photographers, like you said, you mentioned the name Vincent Peters. We love, you and I, we are big fans of Vincent Peters.
Oh yes.
And you made beautiful pictures for our channel, so it was your pictures, you pictured them.
Thanks.
For our video, and it was great work. But Vincent Peters, the book was limited, as you said. It was 7,000, I believe, that have been printed for this book. And then there was this collector book.
It was, yes.
Personal, yes. And we both went for the collector's box. So just recently, it was very hard to find, very rare. So we were kind of lucky, I must say. It is limited to 100, but it comes with a print. So there's some addition in that box, not just the book, there's something in it as well. Can you tell us a little bit why photographers do this, and what is the strategy behind?
Yeah, that is really, but we know that Vincent Peters has even his print, very low numbers. It goes around 10 only each, and it was the same with this book. It's in a box, of course. That is the normal book, but it is hand signed from Vincent, and it was actually two versions of it.
Okay.
So it was 50 in version 1 and 50 copy only in version 2. So totally it is 100, and you have we have them both actually. So that is really funny. But it is a different picture. So you get a really nice, very rare and limited, because it's only 50 of these prints. And the funniest thing is that photograph in that box is not the same print that you see on the books.
So it's a different picture. It's okay.
So yeah, that is the holy grail, I think, now in the modern time, really.
So would you suggest if, okay, we have Vincent Peters here, and we know that Vincent Peters has a big name, but is it worthwhile to go for books with this extra additional prints in it? What do you think about this? Is that something that is good to have for the future?
Absolutely. We see that that is also something, if you look at the big auction houses around Europe anyway, we see that the prints really goes high on value.
Can you tell us a little bit about the auction houses and the galleries? What is the value now? What is going on in the market? Have you searched a little bit around? What can you tell us a little bit? What is going on in the sales, on the sales side, so to say?
Yeah, that is also very interesting, because the market now, art galleries has been for many years, of course, but they have also started, I think, 1 or 2 decades to sell limited books, limited edition books as well, so it is a combination, of course. When you have an artist, they have prints and so on, you hang it on the wall, and it costs a lot of money, of course, if you are famous and so on, but they, in the same time, they have also books to sell, and that has we not really seen before, to be honest. So it is something, and if they have it, of course, some of the customers demands it, and buy it, so they have a channel that to sell, about that. So it's really interesting in that. And of course, we see the prints going up also with books as well. So yeah, it is some changes on the market. I had not seen that before when I start.
Yes, and I would suggest also if you have an investment and if you want to sell it for any reasons, I mean, I would not really sell my books because I love them so much, but I understand that there's people out there who say, okay, maybe this could be a very good thing for the future, and you invest your money on it. Yeah. That's fair enough. But I would not sell it on platforms like eBay. I would sell it really at an auction house, because an auction house sets the value to the initial value for the price that I have bought the book before.
Correct.
So and then maybe you have crazy bidders, and then they go up sky high again, totally bananas, so to say.
It is. But it is, all thing about the collecting stuff. You can collect cars or whatever, it's but you must have a joy and fun thing about it, and you can have a special topic, of course. And you and I, we start actually because the era of the super photo models, Cindy Crawford, Linda, you said, Naomi Campbell and everything, that era is gone.
Yes.
We will not see that anymore. And
so the big photographers, the big fashion photographers, I mean, they are there, of course. But these big models, these super models that go all over the world, I think that has changed a lot. And here's one example. Karl Lagerfeld Karl is gone.
Yeah, he's gone as well.
All the old heroes, so to say. And we don't know where the fashion world goes, though.
No, but it is an interesting history also, to go back, Peter Lindbergh, for example, or whatever, and see this.
It is a thing to invest for books, like you said, Peter Lindbergh, so it is a thing to go for these kind of fashion books, is it?
I think so. I really think so. Absolutely.
I have seen there's a Naomi Campbell book on Taschen also.
Oh yeah.
A very interesting one.
The limited edition, €2,500, out of print, all gone. Crazy. Sold out.
And so, Joachim, can you give us a little bit of okay, let's say I'm new to this, okay, and I would like, maybe I like some special topics. For example, I like nude photography, or I like street photography. Can you give us a little bit of a hint? How can I search for books, and what kind of book should I go for if, I also want to have something out of it in the future? Is there some tricks, or is it just a feeling, or how would you search a book for?
Yeah, but to collect something, it's always the heart. I think it must be what you are out, what you're searching for, really. But there are some interesting, the big names, of course, that is always, but it is, as we have discussed so many hours before, is that should you really have 3,000 books, or whatever, a lot of things, because there are so many books out there, but you never know what is, if you want to get a value of it. But the limited things and the great ones, of course, they cost some money, but there are great
so it
for
is
a reason.
Yes, and it is more sure maybe to buy something like a collector's edition, a limited edition. I think the chance that they grow on value is even higher than just a normal book, so to say. But you never know. We have seen that on personal, 7,000, which was quite a number, was very quickly sold out, and now it's 5-6 times more value on the money if you got this book and you try to sell it.
Exactly. And we got actually an offer of Vincent Peters. It was and direct, some weeks after, because we have the network, and both you and I, we said no, absolutely not.
Sometimes you can't sell it. It's
no,
even if you get something for free, but you love it. I think there is no price. You
exactly.
They can give you 20,000 and you would not sell it.
Yeah, but I think also, we should discuss about the coffee table book again. That is also very interesting. We have heard even in the channel that people are talking about that. They know people who just buy this fashion book or whatever only to display in their home, never open them actually, only to display. And we see that a lot around actually. So that is also interesting, we have not seen that. And coffee table books as a name was not known for some decades ago. So it is something.
That is a very valid point. So do you think that this coffee table books, is it like a new medium for the or is it like an art that you place inside your flat or inside your house, like a painting? Is that something that that comes up, that more and more people wants to have a decorative thing in the house? What can you say about that?
Yeah, but for me it is really an art thing, because when you have a really good book, you maybe have 200 pictures in it. You have a lot to see, and you can really, for hours if you are like that. But one picture on the wall, a painting or whatever, that is nice also. I'm a little bit into that as well, that. But for me, it's really something, and it is so many of the books now. There are totally the whole world of it. Look at Naomi Campbell; she has did some books before, but the latest from Tash, her whole life, her whole career, actually, and that is interesting. Yeah, it is really interesting. H.R. Giga, for example, we have it on the channel as well. Stan Lee's story, it is the same, and also Stan Lee's story, 10 years of work before to fix that book, 10 years. That is a long time. Yeah,
and that was also one reason. I mean, I come back to my Sylvester Stallone book that I mentioned before, and I strongly believe that there will be a high grow on value on these kind of books. Think about it. Okay, Sly is with us now, but he's not the youngest anymore, and we don't hope. But certainly in the future, this book will grow up on value like crazy. Because there will be always fans. And you mentioned the name H.R. Geiger here. He died as well, unfortunately, but that gives always a push on value to everything. So if you have a popular photographer, for example, that I'm a fan of Russell James as well. They can be superstars, but if they will be gone in the future, they can go even higher. It's like I would say like a Picasso in the 20th century. He was a painter, but this can happen to a photographer today as well.
Yeah, maybe you and I are not here anymore.
Maybe.
If that comes, I don't really know that, but of course, the value will increase over the years. Can be. You never know. You never know. But it is very interesting, and that is what we are doing now. You and I search for this very small number, rare, limited edition. Because. Once again, Vincent Peters, only 50 copies, 50 in the whole world, that is, it's nice to have that.
Absolutely, yes. So that comes to a resume then, Joachim. So just to put everything together, if you love your hobby, if you are into books, it's always worth it, and it's always worth it to invest. And don't be afraid if the price might be a little bit higher. Maybe some people think 100 €100 for a book, or 200 euros, or even 1,000, or maybe 5,000 euros.
Yeah,
I think you don't lose any money on it, isn't it?
I will believe that you will not. That is but that is mine, But it is so fun about this, because it is a great community, lot of new friends we have, around the globe, actually. So around the world. So it's really interesting.
Yes, when you are in this business, you get to know people, and it grows and grows and grows, and suddenly you end up with your collection. And I think that is heartwarming, I would say. It's a really lovely hobby.
Yeah, it's a really lovely hobby. So
So let's continue this, don't you think?
Sure. We have just beginning here, about this. But it's very interesting, and that is our thing, to really show the great arts of many books. And it's we have some years, Timo.
Absolutely. So guys, what do you think? I mean, leave your comment below if you want to participate on this discussion. It would be really nice to get your input here as well. Joachim, thanks for your time. I really appreciate this. I think we had a good talk here. We will continue doing this.
Sure.
It's really big fun. So
it is.
I hope we speak to each other very soon. And guys, thanks a lot for watching.
Thanks.
Be prepared. We have a lot of good books coming up. Something is already in the pipeline, and see you soon. So thanks a lot, and take good care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.